So Mike, thank you so much for joining us here. Of course, we've got this great auction coming up. Lots of stuff. Disneyland's turning 65.
I know,
or just did, actually.
Yeah.
And since we can't be in the parks, I guess now's a better time than ever to take some stuff home, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Take a memory home. That's what I say, yeah.
And you have some Walt Disney World stuff here as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And why don't you point out some of your favorites to us?
Well, first off, it's all my favorite.
Okay.
I think I'm what they call a hoarder. But this is a tombstone from the Haunted Mansion. I think it's really, really amazing. And maybe, I don't know how it's showing up in the picture, but you can still read it. Here lies Phineas Pock, laid to rest beneath this rock. It's a pretty incredible piece. It was in the graveyard that was in the back of the Haunted Mansion. It was called the Family Plot. And it was taken out, I think, in the 70s to extend that queue back there so they'd have more room. And every gravestone in there was a tribute to an Imagineer, except for this one. This was to Phineas Pock, who we think was going to be the original host of the Haunted Mansion when we went through. Very rare. The person who took it out gave it to a neighbor, and since then they've been using it as a Halloween decoration at their home every year. So it was just an incredible piece. I was so thrilled to find this. It was amazing.
It's crazy what people have in their attics and garages.
Absolutely, yes, it is crazy. That's one of my favorites. I really love that piece. I think it's really rare, really unusual. Of course, trash cans and tiki room stuff was always great. So we have a lot of that in this auction. A lot of signage in this auction. Opening day tickets from the park, which were very.
Where are some of those?
They're right over here. I'll show you. As you know, the press preview was filmed. It was a television special. So Disney had to have people come at certain times, so he made sure he had crowds at the right places at the right time. So they made 4 different tickets. One for people to come at 2:30, one for people to come at 5:30, and then people to come at 6, which was after the event had already happened, the filming had already happened. And they also had this gold ticket, which, as you can see, was specific to a special VIP guest who could invite a number of guests. So this one was to someone who invited 4 guests with him. The rarest of these, though, is that white ticket, the first one I've ever seen. I think that's pretty incredible. And while you're looking at incredible stuff, right there in the center.
Oh, that's Walt's?
No, it's not Walt's. This is number 10,
yeah.
Which, again, you said the same thing. You know, Walt, this is the early ID badges for employees of the park. Walt was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is number 10. Earliest badge we've ever seen. It belonged to Milt Albright, who was one of the first employees of the park. And then right below, that's an incredible piece too. That's a .22 caliber rifle, and it's a real rifle. Back in the day, on Main Street there was a shooting gallery, as there was in Frontierland. They used real .22 caliber rifles, actually fired real ammunition and everything.
Wow.
Sort of a different time, I think, you know. In fact, if you go on our website, you can see a great reference picture to this, where there's people shooting these .22 caliber guns just all nonchalantly. They weren't even tethered to the bar across there. They just, free. They just hand you a gun full of ammunition and said, "Fire away." So
I have a question about the tickets.
Sure.
Because we always hear that infamous story of the counterfeit tickets from opening day. Have you ever seen or come across a counterfeit?
No, and I've heard that story too, but I don't know if it's really true, or if it was really for this opening day, or if it was for the public opening day. That may be a different story, because these tickets weren't sold.
Sure.
So there'd be no use to trying to sell a press preview ticket. I don't think you would be able to get in. I think it was more probably for the opening day for the public. I could see that happening, where they counterfeited a bunch of the 50-cent tickets to get in.
Yeah,
sure.
You hear that story all the time, and I'm curious if anybody has it.
Yeah, no, I've never seen it, but I think it was for the opening day of the public, not the press preview. That's what I would think.
Okay. We've got this massive piece over here from Space Mountain.
Yeah, it's a great piece. This is an original Space Mountain vehicle from the first year the ride was open. This one belonged to a collector who restored it, lovingly restored it. It's in great condition. It lights up. The tail lights up. The speakers have been replaced inside. In fact, it has an MP3 player in it, so you can play the soundtrack from the ride while you're sitting in it, and he padded the seats, so you can actually, it's pretty comfortable. You can sit and watch TV in your favorite ride vehicle. It's pretty incredible. And behind it, it's a doll from It's a Small World, as well as that cool sign from It's a Small World.
Is that on Disneyland?
That's Disney World, as a matter of fact.
Disney World, okay.
Yeah. The signage is Disneyland, the doll is Disney World. So, yeah.
Now, these days, the thing everybody is talking about is Splash Mountain, right? I see the giant Splash Mountain sign up there, but I was also looking for a cool little book.
Yeah, the book's pretty cool.
Let's go take a look at this book.
when Splash Mountain was being built, or was beginning to be built, of course they went through some name changes along the way. I think it was going to be Zippity Doo Dah at one time.
That's
or something.
Something like that,
Well, here it's called Brer Rabbit's Splash Mountain. And this was a pitch book that was given to this gentleman, Pete Nelson, who was head of marketing at McDonald's.
I love that. The Brer Frog with his McDonald's shirt.
Well, it tells a lot about the ride, actually, as you get into it. And I think Brer Frog was actually going to be sort of a host through the ride. At least he's a host through this book. But what's great is this was a pitch book to get McDonald's to sponsor the ride. And this is all hand-painted and applied, the Splash Mountain wording. And if you go into it, again, all hand-painted and applied to the pages. These are, as you can see, it's a one-of-a-kind book for sure. But there, he's the he's going to be the spokescritter for McDonald's, Brer Frog looks like. And it goes through everything, gives you some concept art where, as you can see, an earlier version of Splash Mountain and Critter Country with McDonald's as the host. And even these framings here are all cut out and applied over the photo. And it goes into Walt Disney World too, as we get right there. But there we go.
That's pretty incredible.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
And then it actually goes back in the back. They pitch them on, there's some great, there's a whole storyboard telling how the ride's going to run. And then you get back in here, and they pitch McDonald's on Country Bear Jamboree at Walt Disney World.
Oh, no kidding.
Which is also great. And Disneyland. It's really, really cool.
Huh.
So it's an amazing pitch book. Again, one of a kind, something we surely never seen before. So I was thrilled to get it. And along with this book came that book from Epcot Center at Walt Disney World. And as you can see, that was presented to President Jimmy Carter to give him an overview of the building of Epcot. It has a great letter from Card Walker in it to Jimmy Carter. Just really, really great piece. Each one of these buildings could have been bought individually, and he also made this base for anybody who wanted to complete Main Street. There are very, very few people did.
Yeah.
You got to have some room for sure, and everything lights up inside this. Every building lights up. It's a beautiful piece.
Very cool. Well, where can folks? This is going to be done primarily online now, right?
Well, it'll be live streaming. We'll have a live auctioneer here.
Okay.
You can bid online. You can bid by absentee bid, and you can bid by phone if you want to be in the room when things come up. And all of that is detailed on our website at vegalleries.com.
Okay, and the auctioneer is what dates?
August 15th and 16th. I had to think about it, but August 15th and 16th for sure. It's a two-day auction. There's over 1,100 items, so it's a pretty large auction.
All right, so take all the money you were going to spend on theme park tickets that you haven't been able to this year, and come bid on some cool stuff here, because it's a lot of signage. Oh, the Mark Twain.
The Mark Twain thing there is amazing. You know what? Also really amazing are these two signs from the Silver Banjo Restaurant.
Where was that located?
This was in Frontierland for 5 years, from 1957 to 1962.
Okay.
There's a gentleman named Don DeFore. He's an actor, a TV actor, and he was good friends with Walt. And Walt approached him and said, "Hey, you want to open a restaurant in Disneyland?" So this was actually the only building in Disneyland, or the only place in Disneyland, that had a living person's name on it that wasn't Walt Disney.
Wow.
And it was actually a very popular restaurant, did very well, but DeFore he was the host there, but he got so busy doing acting and things like that, he had to close down.
That's pretty remarkable. This is awesome. I know you do these pretty regularly, so folks can normally come check this stuff out, but right now the website's the best place, right?
The website is the best place right now. You know, we're hoping maybe something happens and we can let people in some sort of limited way to see the stuff, but for now, the website is the best way to go.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Thank you guys. Thanks for coming by.